Peace be with you. Thank you for joining in a contemplation on Psalm 101. O Lord, listen to my prayer, and let my cry for help reach you. Do not hide your face from me in the day of my distress. Turn your ear towards me and answer me quickly when I call. In contemplation, a time to surrender, surrendering, resting, waiting, yielding to the transforming presence in contemplation of the love of God. The reflection. It can be very hard to live with uncertainty. Back at the start of the pandemic, I heard a counsellor speaking on the radio during what was called the lockdown. People were anxious and fearful, he said. Many were experiencing loneliness as their normal routine and social life came to an abrupt halt. Another thing that people really struggled with was the inability to make decisions. They felt trapped and stuck, unable to plan ahead. They could, with difficulty, make plans, but even making plans to visit family or to go on holidays proved almost impossible. They didn't know if their jobs were secure or if their children would return to school. When things are up in the air, it's hard to find our feet and feel grounded. And many of us are still struggling now with those feelings. During Advent, we're celebrating it in a pandemic. Many of us are feeling more subdued than we normally would as we begin preparations for Christmas. It will be very different for each one of us with our families and the social occasions that we would have been celebrating that we will not be celebrating. So it will be very different this year. However, Jesus urges us to be alert during Advent. We might feel we have no choice at the moment. The feeling of not knowing what is coming our way is very familiar. We are on our guard, we're on edge, waiting for the latest news. Yet already there are initiatives springing up to support those who will be vulnerable and in need this Christmas. In our families, we're plotting those who are in need of our company, how we can be present to them, and what the guidelines will say to us. We are awake to the strange circumstances, and we are finding ways to cope. We pray today for the strength to guide us during these weeks of Advent, and for the peace and joy of Christ to lift our hearts and to carry us forward. In the words of Pope Francis, in this time of tribulation and mourning, I hope that you will be able to experience Jesus, who comes to meet you, greet you, and says, rejoice. Peace be with you.